Okay, so, as I understand
Okay,
it.
so.
All right, it's 2077, about 50 years from now. A bunch of very bad terrorist guys who are objecting to this technocracy that has evolved out of corporate control of the world have escaped to our time in Vancouver. And you, badass cop, with a way cool outfit.
Thank you very much.
And some very, very cool toys, have accidentally gone back with them. So I'm right so far, right?
Absolutely.
This
I like this technocrosity thing you put.
Technocracy? I looked it up. It's an actual word.
Is it?
Yeah, it's basically
quite cool.
Yeah, it's basically a totalitarian government with really cool toys, which
that's where we're headed. Apparently.
Yeah, apparently. Very cool show. Very nice look to it too. Very very slick looking show. Is it as much fun to do as it looks?
Absolutely. We shot in Vancouver, and it is set in Vancouver. We're not pretending Vancouver is something else. It is Vancouver all the way around. Any way you slice it, 2077, 2012. And the cast, the thing I love about it is there's so many cast members. It's such a huge show with so many cast members. And they're all awesome. We all got along so well. We all had a great time. And frankly, anytime you put me in a scene with Brian Markinson, I went, "Oh, Markinson's coming today. This is fantastic," because he was just so fantastic as Inspector Dillon, and it was a lot of fun. I find that when you shoot shows that are a little bit serious, that the behind the scenes stuff, you have a great time.
Yeah, gotcha. Now you, I led to believe, do a lot of your own action.
Oh yes, I do as much as production will allow me without worrying that I'll get hurt.
Would this account for the Band-Aid on the foot? No.
The Band-Aid on the foot, I'm proud to say, comes from a surfing accident in Costa Rica.
Oh, how cool.
I know. Well, after being in Vancouver, although lovely, a bit rainy, a little rainy from January to April, I needed a vacation. So I just two days ago came back from Costa Rica, and on one of my third surfing lesson, I kicked a rock and lost skin and got some stitches.
But you're an action girl, clearly.
Absolutely.
This is not an aberration. So getting to kick terrorist ass is
dream come true.
Dream come true.
I like to carry a gun. I like to fire weapons. I like to wound people and fight with them. And hey, if we could throw a horse in there, I'd be thrilled, because I also like to do that. But in 2077, they're extinct. So.
Oh, really?
Yes.
See, that's interesting.
There are a lot of things about the future that aren't looking so bright.
Yeah, no, it's very dismal, and yet the tendency with these kind of shows is you kind of want to stay in the future because there's all these great toys and all this future stuff. But this is a future you want to get the hell away from.
Yeah, there are a lot of elements about it, and in the first 10 episodes that we've already shot, we do go to the future a lot. We see a lot of the future and a lot of the other mechanisms and things that exist and things that don't, but. There's no running water in the future, and horses are extinct, and people don't eat. So there goes
meat. Surfing and horse riding right off the bat.
Yeah, I would be lost in the future.
But again, it's an interesting parallels in the pilot when they're talking about the government failing and corporate bailout of society.
That's another reason that I like it, is because it's so. It makes you think. It makes you wonder. It makes you ask, where are we headed? Is this what we're headed to? I mean, given the world state that Kira is accidentally brought into when she finds herself trapped in 2012, it's very different from where she's from. And she finds herself in a position where in 2077 she knows who she is, she knows what her job is, she knows what she's supposed to do, what she wants to do, what is right, what is wrong. But she comes back here and sees all of this that's going on in the sort of the social aspect of things and the economic aspect of things, and suddenly, slowly but surely, she's got to ask herself a lot of questions of who's good, who's bad, who am I fighting for? Yeah,
because of course anything that these terrorists change in our time impacts on the future.
And that's another big element. I always say everybody saw Back to the Future, and Michael J. Fox goes back, and then he's got that picture of himself and his brother and sister, and they all start disappearing, and there are those elements as well. What happens if we are back here and we tweak something that happens tomorrow and it changes everything? It's one of those, the butterfly flapping its wings. And,
Yeah. Well, it's a lot. It's a great playground to be messing around in. Now, you have done an inordinately large amount of genre stuff. You know, Conan and Star Trek and what was the other one? Oh, G.I.Joe.
Yeah.
Are you a geek girl?
Yeah, I am. I just like the world that it creates, and I like the world that I get to live in doing these movies, and it's so different. I've enjoyed my experiences doing sort of slice of life kind of stuff, but I just like the fantasy and the imagination and you know, G.I. Joe, I get to wear my robo suit, and I had a crossbow, and who wouldn't want that? And in Conan, I've got swords, and I get to ride horses everywhere. I mean, it's just fun.
Well, I can think. I mean, who wouldn't want that? I can think of some little girls in their little princess tutus that might not be dreaming about riding horseback and cleaving guys in half.
Yeah,
with
give me a gun or a big sword. I'm totally happy a crossbow.
It's now of all the action that you have been allowed to do, and of course there are insurance considerations, but of all the stuff that you've got to do, not necessarily even in this show, what was your favorite stunt, or most dangerous to pull off, or something that gave you an inordinate amount of satisfaction?
Well, there was one scene in Conan where I had to drive a carriage being pulled by 4 horses going at full speed, which is extremely frightening and actually physically impossible for me to stop them once they got going. So the head stunt coordinator had to hide, and then when I would say, okay, whoa, and he'd come up and have to take the reins, and it was exhilarating, but I was petrified.
Wow.
So that, and I'd never ridden a horse before I got to Bulgaria, so I had to actually learn how to ride horses, and then learn how to drive a carriage with 1 horse, then 2 horses, then 4 horses, you know. But we've done so much cool stuff. The fight sequences are fantastic. Carlos and I in episode 3 have a very cool, very long fight scene with the Terry Chen character. Yeah. And anytime we get to do a fight where the audience will know it's really me, it's my face. You see my face and his face and our bodies and everything. Yeah. I'm really proud of those moments because it's not, you know, close on Rachel's face and then a really wide shot of her throwing a punch and then close up on her face.
Yeah.
You know, it's me. It's awesome.
Yeah. Can't see the wig slipping because it's really you.
Because it's really me.
So, I mean, I don't know. I think this show's got great potential. It's a very exciting debut. Who knows? It could still be running 50 years from now.
By the way, Simon Barry, who created the show, he's got enough ideas in his head, and if you look at the Bible for the first season and then what could potentially happen next, I said, Simon, you know, Kira's going to get old. If we're still doing this in 30 years, she's going to, I mean, you got to figure out, there's got to be someone else coming in to do it. But it has endless possibilities. And are we the only people that came back? Did other people come back? Did they just land in different places or different times? Or what does it mean if we change things? Or what happens if the terrorists decide to kill my grandmother? Does that mean I'll disappear out of thin air? There are so many questions. And it's fascinating because the answers are limitless.
It's a great canvas to play in. Mixing my metaphors. It's a great canvas to play on. It's a great playground to paint. Take your pick. But it's a very exciting debut, and I look forward to seeing more of it.
Thank you. Good.
Thank you for doing this.
Really happy. Absolutely. Thank you.
Okay.